again. We've got a guest coming on, Bill the Ascension Project from Pennsylvania. I'm live in Newport Beach, California. Bill, we're going to talk about the 144,000, flat earth, the simulation. Let's see if this thing works again. If at first you don't succeed, the Matrix always playing its little tricks on us. Huh? This is what we signed up for. You know, 144. You know it's about to be a fire live whenever they start doing these type of things to us. But let me see if I can send them a request. Okay. Bill Ascension Project. Let's see. Oops. Uh-oh. I don't even know if y'all can see me. Let me see here. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. No. Bill, are you on here? What is this channel about? We talk about aliens, star seeds, the Anunnaki, the 144,000. Aloha, ancient love sound. We talk a little bit about everything. What is this channel about? This channel is about breaking free from the prison of your mind, aka the Matrix. The Matrix is a virtual world. This is not our base reality. We created this reality to have things to overcome, and the simulation is a copy of our replica world. This is not the be-all, end-all. But a lot of people find more comfort in slavery. I'll just put it that way. And it's understandable. A lot of us were asleep in this reality. And now we're waking up. I got an alien footprint. That's what's up, man. Where is Bill? Bill? Okay. Let me see what's going on here. 1 second. Yo. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? There we go. You can hear me. Okay, good deal. Everything is good in the world. Okay, here we go.
All right, there we go. Good
What's
to see
going
you.
on,
Sorry
my
about
brother?
that. Let me
Man,
turn my volume up.
you got me out here looking like I'm talking to myself in. Hello, God. Are you here? I'm waiting for you. Anyway, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Just so you guys know, me and Bill, the Ascension Project, met. I guess it's been almost 4 years probably since the time I first joined TikTok. You were on
Yeah,
TikTok before me, and we got to meet in Pennsylvania. We did a meetup with Violet and a bunch of people over there in Independence, Ohio,
yeah, of
where
all places.
of all places, where the synchronicities were off the chain. It was undeniable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so
that
here
was
we
that was a
are today.
magical time for sure. And
The,
then I actually kept that going for like 2 more years,
yeah. Yeah.
and it was phenomenal each year. I mean, each year had its peaks. Like getting everyone together, you know what it's like. You
Yeah.
of all people know exactly what that's like. Getting a whole bunch of activated people together is powerful.
It's very powerful, and it's healing. It's eye-opening, and really the things that we learn are more stuff about ourselves. Everything we do is to really learn more about ourselves, but we also are puzzle pieces. So we share, this common knowledge, and then also the things that came through us. So really quick, before we get started,
Yeah,
me and you, our first topic of conversation was the flat earth. Now, for most people in
yeah,
the beginning of their awakening, flat earth was like first of all, for me, nobody told me that we didn't land on the moon. It came through me through a download, and then and I'm like, hold up, I grew up by NASA. Like that you're gonna tell me that they had 400,000 people working on getting somebody to the moon for 10 years, and that they couldn't do it, so they ended up faking it to, like they say, bankrupt the Russians, or there's many reasons. But
right.
uh, So the flat Earth never came in my peripheral until, again, until the pandemic happened. Are you still 100% convinced the Earth is flat?
Whenever you say 100% convinced that it's flat, I can't tell you the exact shape because it might be infinitely round, but so round that it's flat to us. But it's not a round ball all by itself in space. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's flat. It's
Yeah, I
flat.
mean, that's the
It's
thing about
flat.
it.
It just is. It's flat.
It's even to say that out loud is like, hold on, but they taught us in school that it was round. And
Right.
what are the examples you give people on what makes you believe that it's flat? Because we talked about how, aircrafts and going against the jet stream and things like that. How Where are you at now with it where you're just like, look, man, it's
Honestly, this is, and I knew we were going to talk about this tonight. I was like, honestly, like whenever Jonah says that, like where I'm at with this right now is that like I don't even see it as a debatable topic. Like
right.
I really, in my mind, it is firmly placed, more well placed than their globe was in my head before. Like I actually investigated this. I actually looked into it. I actually understand it. And the more you look at it, the more you see it. Like, and all you need is one, like for you to start understanding that we live in a flat stationary place. All you need is one solid thing to look at and then go, why is that? Why is that like that? Like Jono, why don't we have a magnetic South Pole?
Right.
That's weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And whenever you think about that, you would say, well, how could that be if it's a magnet? And but yet we do. And then you ask yourself, okay. And then whenever you start opening your eyes to it, it's everywhere. It's in all their, like whenever you look at like the military documents, they talk about it openly in their documents because it's part of their like warfare. Like they have to, you know what I mean? And like whenever they say like, you know what I mean, we're in a Navy military ship and our laser can shoot down a missile at 200 miles. I want you to think about that.
Right.
Think about that really, really hard. That
Right.
laser would have to curve around the Earth 100 miles at least to
Right.
hit that missile.
Right.
I mean, that just makes common sense.
Yeah.
And we know they're not going to spend $1 trillion to create these weapons that don't, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But where are you at with it now? Because whenever I met you, you were not really there. You were,
I'm still not there. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't believe
yeah.
because on the highest timeline, like I'm never gonna commit to anything for this simple reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody creates their own reality, right? Like we collectively, I'm wearing a yellow shirt right now. We collectively decided that this is the color yellow. But what if somebody is colorblind? You see what I'm saying? Like we decided this was yellow. To some people, the earth is flat. To some people, the earth is round. Neither one to me are wrong. But I also know at the highest timeline that it's a simulation. Have you ever looked out on your cell phone or a telescope and you've seen those balls that look like Merkabahs or some sort of it could be an
I've
orb?
seen hexagonal
Yeah.
fields.
So you see how these things are moving. It's not flat and it's not round. It's like even the
It might be
position of
created by our mind. It
that's
might
right.
very well be, it might very well be created by our mind, but as we are right now in this paradigm,
Right.
to me it's flat.
Right. I mean, to your point, like if you want to get into religion, the Bible is one of the oldest books that we have that
Mm-hmm.
has codes in it and has clues in it. So
Sure.
for people to preach off that book and say we live in a firmament, but all of a sudden, no, 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 that's the only thing that's wrong in there. Like
Right.
it just goes against all logical thinking. So
And
so
then like you talk about the firmament, like one that really was like, and this was whenever I first was waking up to it. What was like it was a smack in the face was Warner von Braun's gravestone.
right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
Psalms 91.
Yep.
The firmament shall prove his handiest work, or whatever it says. Something like that.
Yep.
But like that's coming from the guy who created NASA.
That's right. He also found Christ before he died. He became a Christian, which, people who are tapped into that world are science based. He was a Nazi. He had a lot going on. For
Yeah,
him to convert to, he knew that there was something beyond this,
for sure.
and then he knew he had to lie his whole life, and he also told his assistant that
Yeah.
uh, they're going to fake an alien invasion.
Hmm.
Just so you know, don't believe him.
He did the best he could going out the door.
Right. That's exactly
That's
what.
what I think. I think he did the best he could going out the door.
Yeah. Now switching topics a little bit.
Sure.
But when I first came across your content, you talked about the 144,000.
Yeah.
I had known about the 144,000, but
Hmm.
my only interaction was I had met a few Jehovah Witnesses in my life, but it never even dawned on me until after the awakening, and then I started getting all these downloads that there are 144,000 people on this plane, and I know you've gone toe to toe or debated people online in the past about
Yeah.
it's a frequency, that's all it is. Where are you at with it now on the 144,000? Do you believe it's both? Do you
Oh,
believe it?
here's what I believe.
Okay.
Here's what I believe. The 144,000, and like whenever you say, like whenever I made a video about any of the 144,000 for the longest time, even today, people will come on here and say that it's a frequency. No, it's a 12,000 of 12 tribes of Israel. Um, no, it's the Rainbow Warriors. No, it's the God's Anointed. It's this, it's that, it's all these things. But the thing is that it is the fact that none of those things, like you could have your chakras aligned, have your frequency at 144,000, be one of God's anointed, become a rainbow warrior. All of those things can happen at the same exact time. And the fact that they can all happen at the same exact time, I think, is Source's thumbprint on the entire thing. I think that whenever we say, oh, it's a frequency or it's a number of people or it's this or it's that, we, in trying to define what it is, we're also saying what it's not, and we're putting Source in a box, and we're saying that's all it can be, and it's not. It can be everything, and that's exactly what it is. And more than that, Jonah, it isn't something to define. Like 144,000 is something that anyone watching this video, listening to this video, can achieve. It is something to live, to actually become, and we don't need to define it because we're literally living it. It's
Right.
going to play out in this reality exactly as it's meant to.
Right.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
I'm with you, man. Listen, it you know as well as I do, there are no coincidences. And so
None.
for this number to find me, I know it's the Fibonacci sequence. You can find it in all parts of reality, from
Yep.
some of the patterns that are made from the tones that whales make in the ocean. Like Fibonacci is everywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
144 is a Fibonacci number. But also 144 is Jonah Dwayne Rogers. My name in English gematria equals 1212. Now, gee, you want it like, again,
Right.
these are things that I looked for. It was just things that found me when I was ready
Mm-hmm.
to really download the information and say, could that be? Because there's a lot of people online that they get stuck in a box. It's the spiritual community for me now. I'm gonna be real with you, Bill. Let's keep it a buck.
I know it gets boring.
Let's keep it a buck. The spiritual community for me is like Republican Democrat shit right now. Like,
Yeah.
and it's spiritual ego, and I know more than you, and I just
Right.
drank my urine yesterday, so I'm one of the 140. Like, it's getting out of hand, dog.
It
Like,
is.
it's getting out of hand. So I had to kind of distance myself from that and say, okay, everybody becomes God or reaches the God frequency that we're co-creating with Source. Okay,
Sure.
everybody creates this playbook for their life and all the things that they want to experience. So I'm definitely not here to judge people for where they're at on their journey, but we are here to find aligned people on aligned times. Where are you now with finding people aligned in the community? Are you finding new tribe? I mean, you've been on the grind longer than me, and it's been 4 years for me.
It's only been, I was only on the grind, I think 3 months longer than you.
Yeah,
I wasn't out there much longer. But new tribes, yeah. I mean, I found some people that are real solid that I've been reaching out to, talking to, much like you.
yeah.
Haven't had the chance to meet them all yet, but yeah, definitely in the works.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so okay. So what we came to talk about, simulation. Now,
Sure. Let's
this
talk
is
about the
this
simulation.
this is something for me that it wasn't comfortable for me to say out loud at first because the Matrix simulation. How do these go hand in hand?
Hmm.
And but I knew it. I could see it. I could breathe it. I could see all the patterns and how everything connected my whole entire life. And then going around meeting people around the world, I started to see that they were patterns too. And so I've been at the forefront of this thing. I've been saying we live in a computer simulated reality. It was only after I started saying these things that I discovered Elon Musk was on Twitter and he was saying these things. And then
Right.
where he even got his information or where it was put into his psyche was Philip K. Dick in 1977 came out in Paris and he said, "We are living in a computer simulated reality. The only
Right.
proof that we have of it is deja vu, where something changes in the algorithm of life." And then, you know, he has another interview that's about 2 hours long where he talks about a lady he met, that the lady really was the one controlling his mind that could speak perfect languages from 2,000 years ago. Like there was levels as to how he even came to this conclusion and what was shown to him. Elon Musk ran with it, but I was already there. So
Yeah.
for me,
No. Yeah, I
it's
get it.
still, it's still a computer simulated reality. Where are
Right.
you at with it? Because this is where we kind of debated a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a debate. I think that you'll understand exactly what I'm saying whenever I say it. Is that I believe that the simulation theory that I believe that they are absolutely pushing is their next heliocentric deception. And what I mean is, I believe the heliocentric deception was a way to separate us from God, from source, and say you are a tiny speck in an infinite universe created, purely by accident, randomly through chance. You're unimportant, okay? And I believe simulation theory is the same exact thing. Is in time, you can see how you could say, oh, well, they killed 10,000 people, but, the government's reporting that there was only 4 real people there and 9,900 NPCs, something like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I see that, and I see that even the 4 people they killed, whatever they do, just the mass of people believing that would separate you from what I believe is God.
Right.
And so I think that it's dangerous to. I think it's dangerous to say that. I think it's dangerous to just say that we live in a simulation without the prefaces of understanding that I think that the problem is whenever we're describing that we live in a simulation, what's actually happening is that we're describing a computer. But what they have done is they've reverse engineered this reality to create the computer. And they showed us the computer and said, this is a computer, blah, 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 blah. And the more that we woke up and the more that we realized we're seeing it out here, but we've seen it in there first.
Right.
You understand? But all they did was copy what reality was giving them and created that.
Right.
Like what I'm trying to say is that we live in a divine simulation, if that's how you want to think of it. It's in
Right.
the mind of the all. Like to say that we live in a data bank somewhere is very separating from source.
Right. And I listen, I completely understand that. I've been on the timeline of this world is not base reality. This is a copy of our replica world. And that the earth is a school for souls. And that numbers and binary code are in every fabric of our reality
They
from this
are.
on
Yes.
to this on the
Every
wall.
fabric. Every
Every
single fabric.
numbers.
No, I believe that it's exactly what you're saying.
Right.
I believe that it's exactly what you're saying. The only thing that I'm saying is that it's dangerous to just say that it's a computer simulated reality, because in saying that, it really separates people at a deeper level, like that this isn't real. Like none of this shit is real. Like
Right. It's but so here I because
I'm here for the debate. I'm here for it.
no, but I'm going to say it this way. I com-
Yeah.
I completely understand that. And for a while, I would say, yeah, you know what? It would be dangerous because it would. The reason the news hasn't been broken to the entire world because there would be massive suicides because people would say, what would be the purpose of living life other than you mean I'm not real? You mean I'm existing here only as energy? But everything is a paradox. Somebody just said Did you see
Sorry,
what
I'm not
happened?
reading the chats at all.
Did, did,
Hi to everyone.
did you
Thanks for
see what
being here.
happened in the genocide that just happened in Israel and Palestine? Okay, do you see what's happening right now everywhere in the world? So if you're not going to blow the whistle now, what's the point? I mean, to say it's dangerous and NPC, I understand what you're saying, but at some point you got to tell the kids that the Santa Claus is not real. We came here to connect all timelines and all dimensions and connect to the real world, not just the virtual world. We came in here to usher Christ consciousness and let everybody know it's going to be okay, because you have next lifetime or next incarnation to come here and to basically forgive everybody, love everybody, go through the program and simulation of life.
Yeah.
It's a shit storm everywhere right now. So to just say, well, we don't want to hurt the NPC's feelings, the NPC is me too. I'm an
Oh,
NPC.
that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay,
not saying the NPC. I'm not saying hurt the NPC's feelings.
okay,
That's what I'm saying is that if you if you plant the seed that we live in a false reality,
right,
okay, a complete computer simulated reality, and that seed takes hold as it is over the world, over all these platforms, and you hear about it more and more now than you ever did, I'm sure.
right,
Um, and you know, two generations down the road, if that pattern is completely amplified and repeated as you hope that it is, it would separate those generations from believing that they are God created, that they would believe that they live in a data bank somewhere. And what human rights would they have at that point if that's what the general population believed? What there would be a lot of bad consequences if the mass population really believed that at a core level. I
right.
don't think they would be so, I don't know.
So
Maybe I'm being
I understand what you're saying, and I know it comes from a good place, but this would be the same argument as saying whenever our world is completely filled with robots and artificial
oh
intelligence, saying, well, you don't want to hurt the artificial intelligence's feelings. This is all artificial intelligence. This is all divine intelligence.
yeah, Jonah.
Yeah,
Here's what it is. We got off target. I got off contract here. I got off target. It's not that I don't disagree with you that we need to awaken the public to everything. I completely agree with that 1,000%. The only the only glitch that I see in our difference is that I don't think that it's I like at my core I don't feel that it's a computer simulated reality.
right,
And why don't I feel that way? I'd say that the most obvious reason to me and to anyone that's on here that's spiritual is that I can feel God everywhere. I can feel him everywhere, Jonah.
right,
So to say that I am in a data bank somewhere, to me, just doesn't sit right. You know what I mean?
right,
To say that I am in a reality that resembles a computer simulation, 1,000%.
right.
Yeah, a
I think
1,000%.
I listen. The beautiful part about this is that neither one of us is wrong. I
That's
can only
right.
I can only tell you
No,
what.
I love having conversations like this.
Same
Truly.
here. Same here. And I can only tell you that I know, whereas to your core and you say feel God everywhere, I
Yeah.
know I am God. And I know I'm co-creating with God. I know
Right. Yes.
this is interstellar, and that there's a future version of me and a past version of me, and there's many versions of me all creating a reality at the same time, that it's an energy-based
With
simulation,
God.
that this is a game, but there is no God in that sense, though. This is what
But it's God is everything.
that's right. But you're when you say it like this, you're saying it like there's a man in the sky pushing buttons whenever God is everything and it's universal and it's energy. To say everything is God, so you're you're
Right.
you're you're this
I
is
guess
going to
okay, so I see what you're saying. I
it,
see what you're saying. I
it
got your point. So what you're saying, so your version of a simulation is that we live in a simulated divine reality.
basically it's a some people call it an ancestor simulation.
So in this simulation, who created it?
There's a computer programmer. There is an origin.
Is it divine?
I mean, everything is divine. Everything is spiritual, and everything is divine.
But it could be, but you could get like demiurge energy. You know what I mean?
At the highest timeline, it is a computer game. This is a video game, just like GTA. I don't. Here's what I don't.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with you. That's the thing. I don't disagree with you at all. Like I'm on the same exact page. Like
right.
You can truly like build your muscles just by sitting there and thinking about working out. Like truly
right.
Do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I truly am telling you, we do live in those simulated places. I get that.
You can manifest things. You can communicate with empathy. Why does the tree feeds the birds, feeds the shit, feeds the mulch? Every single thing here goes together in one divine unity as a part of a computer game that we developed. And there's billions of these everywhere, around everywhere, in their spaceships. And so I guess my bigger point is to say that the reason I know, Bill, I'm going to say it in this way. And I don't say this often in that way, but I know it's a simulation because I'm one of the architects. And it's not something like, well, how do you know that? We're all architects. Yeah, we all are architects, and we all have a certain mission. And I'm the Jonah program, just like your name is William. You are the William program, file number 26897162. It's not that you embody the traits of a William that was created from an original story, which I believe the Bible was created in the future, sent back to the past, got read by the masses, and then all of a sudden they manifested these timelines. Oh, I want to be a certain so-and-so character. And I'm only saying this to say is because these are the downloads that I've gotten. The reason some information comes to some people, why did Tesla seed himself exactly at that point in time and created all the things he did, which for those of us who know, we know he created time travel. We know that he seated himself exactly wedged in that time period.
For a very, very specific reason.
Very specific reasons, because it all goes together. It's like this divine hierarchy, right?
Yeah, there are no coincidences.
So, and saying all of
this. And the fact that there's no coincidences also leads to the fact that it's a simulation.
There's no such thing as coincidence. It's a script. And again, I'm only saying this because in traveling around the world, if I'm in California, I could meet a John, Billy Bob, and Williams or something. And then I can go to Texas and I can meet that same character. And I can go to Germany. It's these repeated scripts where somebody has the same stories, but we also live in a reality where not everybody has a soul. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree with that. And yes, there are very okay, so have you ever heard of the Enneagram? Did I ever talk to you about the Enneagram?
Let's hear it.
You have time to talk about it real quick?
Sure.
All right. So the Enneagram is a thing that the old mystery schools used to teach. And what they did is they understood that whenever someone comes into this reality, whenever they're about 2 or 3 years old, they pick. Imagine if there are 9 pairs of glasses on a wall. You pick a pair of those sunglasses with which to now view the world with the rest of your life.
Right.
And you don't realize it. And you do this mainly based upon your conditions of your living at the time. Okay. But these 9 different base, it's literally, Jonah, it's the 9 base programmings of humans. Okay. And you can be any one of them. And not one is right or wrong, but whenever you understand the Enneagram, you can literally walk around and be like, that person's a 3, that person's a 7, that person's an unhealthy 2, that person's a healthy 9. And you can truly see that it is a program.
Right.
It really is a program. And on top of that, it helps you to understand yourself. Like whenever I read it and I really looked at it and was like, wow, that's exactly why I am the way I am. Those are the things I went through as a child that made me da-da-da-da-da. Like it's beyond value for everyone to look into.
Absolutely. It's these life path numbers, obviously astrology, human design, gene key, every single thing is right. And every single thing tells a pattern.
Right.
So,
Yes.
so that alone tells me
Yes.
simulation. That fact alone.
Right.
What
Right.
and I'll say it in this way too, just to make
Yeah.
it more uh, what do you call it? How we view things from a celebrity lens. Most celebrities or rich people have an astrologist, a numerologist, and some sort of a spiritual healer on their staff. That they have people that they go to on a regular basis because they know when certain moons or certain planets are aligned, they know that that's their time to buy stocks. They know that's their time to stay home. There's this whole system is a beatable system that goes back from beyond
Yeah.
thousands of years in the cosmos. The simulation wasn't created when Yeshua was born. The
Mm-mm.
simulation wasn't created when Ra, the sun god, was born. You have these beings that incarnated from the future that came back to the past that really came back to teach. But I also believe that the past is the future and the future is the past. So
Yeah.
I'm a little bit different there. I believe people were smarter back in the day, and that the pineal gland in the future is like the size of a BB.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know exactly how the timeline's laid out, but I know exactly what you're saying. If you,
so I had a lady that asked on here 3 times. I love you too, Medicine Mama Tiana. I had a lady that just asked, was Jesus black?
you asking me?
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't there. No one alive was. And you know what? With the
What?
people that wrote the Bible, no one that wrote that Bible was alive either.
Yeah.
So we don't know. That's the truth of it. That's the honest to God truth of it.
Right.
And anyone who says they absolutely know is lying.
Yeah.
That's just the fact.
He didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes that come out the desert. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, he did not. He did not.
But you know the funny thing, they say Adam and Eve was black. I mean, if we're gonna get into science, I believe that you know science doesn't tell the whole truth about our reality. Period. Right.
Oh,
And
hell no.
and because there's a higher level of there's just way more going on the spiritual plane than science can ever explain, right? But if you go back, blue eyes didn't exist until 10,000 years ago. I'm sorry, 6,000 years ago. Green eyes, I believe, was 10,000 or vice versa, whatever it was. And that we go back all the way 66,000 years when the Anunnaki created us. Now, there's this narrative being pushed in media right now that says the Anunnaki are bad and they enslaved us. And it's the same people pushing the same narrative. And they all look alike, that I have to think like, why do people only parrot the same ideas in the spiritual community? So I want to ask you, what is your interpretation of the Anunnaki? Do you believe that they were bad, or do you believe that there are nefarious ETs that exist here?
That's a question I don't get very often, John. I'll tell you the truth of it. But if I had to answer it honestly and correctly, I would say that I'd have to say we were a seeded planet. And I think that in being a seeded planet by the Anunnaki, you would have to like assume like the races were seeded on purpose to divide us. You know what I mean? Like and whenever we start to understand that, it comes down to like we're all in the same fucking prison. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. We got to all work together. That shit got to be squashed fucking 10 years ago. We got places we got to go, and that's got to be squashed back in high school, like back in middle school.
Right.
Like we are one here together, all of us. I don't care what color he was. I don't care if he came out blue and green. Like still Yeshua.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the race narrative still being pushed right now. It's just, I have to think that I chose to be born multiracial with a white mom and a black dad on purpose to speak to my people of color and to speak to my white people. Like,
yeah, you're the bridge.
Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, come on, man.
What do we do? At the end of the day, we can argue over all these things, and it's just some people I feel like are stuck on a loop. Some people are stuck on a loop, and
almost everyone, Jonah. Even spiritual people.
It's spiritual people stuck on a loop that are
Yeah.
still stuck on it, the
Because you
real.
get on these loops, because like in my opinion, whenever you break free of the paradigms that we're programmed with, through life, whenever you start to break free from them and you find new ones, a lot of people get so excited, they get so attached to the first ones, the first couple, that's where they stay, and that's where they then live. Whether that you have to constantly, like, even myself, listen, I question myself more than anyone could possibly question me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what you have to constantly do. You have to constantly look at what your current paradigm of this reality is and say, is this my best version of this reality on what I currently have to deal with? You know what I mean? What I'm currently working with.
Right.
And
The true sign of intelligence is taking in new information and being able to change and say, okay, we're on a different timeline now, or maybe I
mm-hmm.
was wrong, or even though there's technically no right or wrong, but it's just getting the
But it's not right or wrong. It's right or wrong for me.
right,
Like if I want to vibrate at my highest frequency, I might have been doing something that I felt was making me do that wasn't.
right. Yeah, I mean, again, man, it's we're definitely not off. It's just these are the type of topics that people don't really. I don't see them bringing up too often and having healthy debates in this way. Even though we're not really debating, we're kind of agree on.
No, we're not debating. We just have slightly different views on the same topics, but they really are slight.
So what happens when you die?
Boy, that's a good question, Jonah. If I had to honestly answer it, I would say that for the last, I don't know, however long we've been reincarnating here in this vicious cycle over and over again. Like there ain't no way this is my first life here. There ain't
Right,
no way this is your first life here. We
right,
have been here over and over and over again. And I think that those of us who have awakened on the front lines, who like really answered the call, like whenever we heard whenever that bell rang, we woke up. You know what I mean? We were the ones who've been here over and over and over again, who've been through the shit, And I lost my train of thought.
My interpretation is when you
Of
die,
what? Oh,
you
when we die. When we
yeah,
die. Sorry. Yes, when we die. And I think that we chose to come here. I think that we were the ones who chose to come here. Absolutely. Like, honest to God, like whenever I look back on everything that happened to me, like, no, I know myself, and that's exactly how I would have set the entire thing up for myself. Like I would have been like, okay, it's gonna go exactly like this, 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 this. That's exactly how he'll wake up. Like to me, it's like I see the programming, I see exactly what I went through, and exactly why I went through it. And I think that whenever we die, ultimately, we leave. We leave the simulation.
do you think that there's another reality that exists? Do you
Yes.
think there's another Bill drinking a Mai Tai somewhere, or it could be Wilma? You could be a woman that incarnated
You
as
know
a.
what? You know what, Jonah? Let me rephrase that. That's not exactly what I believe. I believe that we I believe we live in the mind of the all, the mind of everything. Okay. I don't think that we ever exit that. I think that we are reincarnated over and over and over again, um, in basically an infinite loop. And it's a matter of, like, we feel like some people feel like it's punishment and it's this and it's that. And it's only because the darkest of energies has taken over this place in the last 300 years. Like, that's why we feel like this is hell, because that's exactly what they made it to be. But we have the power to make it heaven. Like, that's exactly why we're here. And my God, could we be living a more dramatic story? Like, literally turning hell to heaven. Like, that's what we're here to do, all of us.
Right. I gotta ask the chat really quick.
Yeah.
of y'all right now, I know we've all been through a long life here. We've all been up and down, highs and lows, millionaire, broke, all these other different things. How many of y'all right now feel like we're in heaven when you're not on the internet, social media, or computers? How many of y'all have created a beautiful reality where you love everybody, where everything is fine everywhere in the
Right
world?
here.
So if that's the case, then we're technically not in hell. Hell only exists online, and
Exactly, Rainbow Child.
that is where that, because a lot of us have suffered here. I know you suffered, I've suffered, and so to get to this point in life has been a miracle because I'm not supposed to be here. I've died so many damn times here, like one of those crash dummies in a car. That the only hell that exists is when we plug into these timelines where they're trying to hijack our mind. They're trying to harvest loose energy. They're creating fake narratives, but it's not real. That's another part of the simulation, is to gain your power, gain your strength, throw the phone away some days, go put your feet in the grass, go do cold plunges, go do things that make you vibrate high, because that world is not real. The reality that I have created for myself right now is a world where I can coexist and be weird, in the context of, when I say weird, I mean not normal, of like,
Right.
I can be who I am, you can be who you are. I can have a conversation with a turbo normie at 7-Eleven and talk about the Matrix, and I don't even weird him
Yeah.
out anymore. He's
Right.
like,
That's
he's like,
just
yeah,
because that's that energy. That's just your energy now.
because we're more grounded now, because I
Yeah.
know that a lot of us suffered from some form of psychosis where we were just like, no, no, don't you see the patterns? Look at that, look at. But we're on this timeline of just, we're chilled out. We can
Yeah.
express ourselves in a proper way. We're
Yeah.
not we're not scaring the children. You know, I used to make the blood leave people's face all the time when I'd start talking about aliens and star seeds, and then
I remember whenever I first met you, me and you were so both into numbers.
yeah,
You're leaving Sanctuary, texting me pictures of 144, and I
it's
mean, and now it's like commonplace, like every day. Like it doesn't even. It's just common reality now.
and this is even the numbers that exist here, even the numbers that we see. I always say are numbers that we left. There's nobody pushing a button. It has already existed, but it's your future self communicating with your current self, because we're trying to connect all dimensions. The goal would be to meet future Bill, or for me to meet future Jonah. But
Yeah,
also your future self has a sense of humor, like,
for
because
sure,
we troll ourselves all the time in this
for
reality.
sure.
There's an inside. I know you probably smile to yourself a couple times a day where you're like,
Oh,
come on, Doc.
seriously. See, the same exact thing. Like, you gotta be kidding me right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, it's just so perfect. But
It
really,
is.
before we get to your book, let's
Yeah,
talk. Let's talk about your near-death experience, because I always say it like this, Bill.
yeah,
You know, the movie The Sixth Sense. I love that movie. It came out the same year. Matter of fact, I believe it was the #1 movie that year over The Matrix. It came out in 1999. The Sixth Sense. Go figure.
right,
Now, The Sixth Sense is like is you have the five senses, and then the sixth sense is being able to communicate with the other realm, right? We're
right.
based mediums, and I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I've died several times here. Can you talk a little bit about your near-death experience, and has that activated gifts in your life where you felt connected to other realms?
Well, I'm gonna have to ask you exactly which near-death experience are we talking about?
Well, you had one where I
As a
think,
kid, when I was a
yes, yeah,
kid.
as a kid.
Okay. So I had, whenever I look back on my life on the near-death experiences, I had two that were pretty traumatic. I had one where me and my mom and my sister were in a car, got hit by a dump truck. My mom passed away. I was in a hospital for 3 months with my head wrapped. It was a dump truck. It dumped on me. I had sand all in my eyes. I had a bunch of surgeries on my eyes. And why that was like near death, I would say, is I don't remember any of it really, except being in the hospital with my head wrapped. But whenever I got home and I found out my mom passed away and all that stuff, like I can remember like vividly for months and months. I would wake up every single night and I would cross my legs like Indian style, you know what I mean? And I would rotate like this in a circle And I can remember feeling completely connected the entire time from the ground all the way through, to the sky everywhere. And I never really thought much of it as I was living my normal life until I woke up and I looked back and I was like, wow, that was different. You know what I mean? That really felt different to me. And then whenever I was 10, I fell off a cliff. It was like 272 feet. It was like 30 feet vertical, like 100 feet like that. And then the rest of the thing was like that. And I landed face first on railroad tracks. Lost one of my kidneys, half my liver. But, I was good after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny that we go through enough of this in this life, and definitely feelings of not wanting to be here, and then you have these things happen where you're supposed to be here, and you have a bigger.
Yeah.
Have you felt connected or activated since that last one, since the cliff? You feel like a walk-in soul.
A walk-in soul. What do you mean?
So a walk-in soul is whenever you have a near-death experience, a different soul comes in you. You get all of Bill's memories, but you're a completely different soul that the one that originated from your mother.
No, I feel like my original soul.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're asking. Would you ask me?
Do you have gifts? Do you have gifts like telepathy?
Oh, I have gifts. I just don't know if they were activated from the fall.
Okay, got you.
I got gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say more than that, Jonah. It was all of the gang stalking and targeting that really awakened me, like truly awakened me, and awakened my gifts, like awakened me to who I am, like truly.
Like, what did gang stalking do? Because
it isolated me.
I made a video a while back saying it's no secret that there's no privacy on WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, any of the encrypted apps. They can see everything you like and repost on social media. They can tell when they can look at all your Google searches and they know when somebody's going through an awakening. They don't even have to have somebody watching you doing it. They can have AI, and when you hit enough keystrokes, all of a sudden you got white cars in your yard, because I got gang stalked.
Yeah.
I had social media, so
right. Yeah.
I was followed by the Department of Homeland Security. So
same.
Yeah.
I actually, social media was a way of me just getting out because I was so isolated in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a way for me to really get out there, and but what it did is it isolated me, and it put me in a state of fear in the beginning of it, and it was really like going through like a trial. Like you have to be able to function and guide yourself through that with grace and find your way all the way out the other side where I am completely free. I'm completely happy. I am truly the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I feel thankful for going through what I have went through. Like it awakened me to a world I was completely asleep to, and I was asleep on myself.
Right.
And so I feel nothing but gratitude for everything that I went through. Like I believe that, like truly, whenever I look back on it, and I wrote about this in my book, is like whenever I think about it, like clarity on the process is you think about God had to put me through all of that in order to, rip me away in order to give me the life that I deserve and that we all deserve. He has to rip away the old in order to give you the new. You know what I mean? Like you can't, like your entire old world has to be ripped apart from you. And I don't know. It's just part of the process. I don't know how else to say it.
It's a part of the process. Let's talk about your book, man. You wrote a book. You were inspired. You've been collecting knowledge, and let's talk about your book and what does it entail. And again, by the way, you don't really use Instagram. For those of you who don't know, he's got a large following on TikTok. That's where we met on TikTok. But
anyway.
Hello,
everyone.
Yeah, I'll put your information on here whenever.
Okay, cool. Thank you. But yeah, so I mean, so basically, what happened to me, for anyone who doesn't know me and doesn't know my story, is I was gang stalked and targeted um, for years now, and you know what that does for anyone who understands. I'm sure you already understand what it does, but it throws you in isolation and fear, and it caused me to, you know, their ultimate goal was to get you to yourself. You know what I mean? That's what they want you to do. Um, But for those of us that have the ability to walk that path and see that through out the other side, I really started to understand and isolate exactly what paradigm shifts, what thought processes, and what, you know, important tools that I use to understand myself that really allowed me to truly be happy in what most rational people would say I was put through hell. You know what I mean? Like, these are the exact thought processes, the exact paradigm shifts, the exact, you know, awareness expansions that I had, that if you truly read the book and understand it, that's great. But if you embody it, it will truly change your life. You will truly walk a blessed path because you will align yourself with the divine energy. That's exactly what this book is about. Anyone who's on their way to New Earth, like, it's a new frequency, it's going to be right next to the old Earth, but we're not going to be there. We're not going to be on that same wavelength.
I love
This
it.
is what it looks like
Oh yeah,
right here. Go to my bio. It's in there. It's all handwritten, but it is illustrated. How about this one, John? Here, I'll show you this one real quick.
yeah.
This is the present world order. All right, right there.
Okay.
That is what's running this place, from the
Can
top
can
to the bottom.
can you read us the top two lines? Just read us the top two
The
lines.
top two lines. We got fourth dimensional vampiric energy. Then you got the black nobility. Then the Jesuits. Then you got the three city state. Then you got the 13 front families. And the front families are like the Rothschilds, the Astors, the Rockefellers. Those are the front families for the black nobility. Then you got the secret societies. Then you got their consolidation, all their financial assets like BlackRock and China Construction Bank. And then is the heads of state. All of the heads of state, you know, Trump, Putin, Z, they're below all that shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They don't actually make their agendas. They do what the fuck they're told. And then you got the programmers, which is like mainstream news, Hollywood music. And then you got all your distractions, which is like drugs, alcohol, major league sports, and porn.
Man, that's I think that page alone is it's knowing who the opponent is in the 3D world.
Yes,
Even though we run this whole thing on the highest timeline from beyond this realm, they know that too.
right.
Yeah.
And like a big thing about my book, and like, is like all of the things, like, to me, and you can tell me your opinion. To me, all of the things outside the world that we see as, like, or I would see as a problem, or you would see as a problem, or anyone would see as a problem, is ancillary to this, which is primary, because we know this creates all of this. You know what I mean? And I think it's in not getting so caught up in the drama of trying to fix or create a situation so heavily in a 3D, instead of just doing it to yourself. And then if we all did that, the reflection would be what we all wanted.
100%.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that came out right. I'm not sure if that came off right, but
hey man, everybody in this chat is ADHD, so you can peel here, paste here. It makes
whenever
perfect.
you listen, whenever you called me, I had just ate probably a half ounce of mushrooms.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go live tomorrow. And
yeah, that's why I was like, oh, that's why I even hesitated at all. That's why I hesitated at all.
Oh. Well,
you caught me on a day, so I apologize if I'm coming off a little.
You did fine, man. You did fine, man. I truly appreciate your time, and we're gonna do this again after I read your book. We're gonna have you back on. We're gonna talk about the book. We're definitely gonna go through some more things. Is there any one message that you want to give to the world? And like I said, I'll put your information on here when we get off.
Any one message I'd like to give to the world: that in order for us to, truly, in order for us to create New Earth, we have to all create it internally before it will be reflected externally. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
I love that. I love that, man. I love that. Brother
I
Bill,
love you.
hey, I love you too, brother. I thank you for everything and the work you've been putting in. Again,
You as well. You
you've
as well, man. You are out there just putting in the work.
we've been doing it for a long time, and I'm
Yeah.
very, very, very grateful for you. We'll have you back on here again soon. I'll talk to you again soon. And again, much love, my brother.
Much love. I appreciate you.
All
Thank
right,
you, everyone, for being in here.
all right, brother.
All right. Bye.